Today we're doing 2.9. And everything in this section is percent problems. Now, I am going to ask you to do percent problems this way because it works this way every time. I want to give you the easiest possible method for solving percent problems. All right? When you have percent problems, we are going to set it up as two proportions or two ratios. The first one is always your percent divided by 100 equals. The second one is always is over of. Trust me. Okay, so everything we're going to set up today, percent over 100 equals is over of. And, of course, we're going to cross multiply. Here's example number 1. Yep. What percent of 60 is 15? All right, so let's look at what we have here. We're going to set up our proportions, our ratios. The first one is percent over 100. Well, it says what percent? We don't know what percent, so what do you think should go in that spot? An x over 100 equals. Then we look to our problem. Is over of. We have is 15 of 60. Yeah. Now we cross multiply. X times 60 is 60x. 100 times 15 is 1,500. And then we divide by the coefficient on x. And x equals? I don't have a calculator. Is it 25? Okay, thank you.
Wow, that's like, I wish Miss Foster would have, or Miss Wolfong, I wish she would have told us that last year. A lot of us.
You did percent problems. You did percent problems. You just didn't do it this way.
She told us to put, like, the other number, not the percent number, but the other number, into the decimal, and then times that by the number, and then add that number to the other number.
Okay, so here's the thing, you guys. I want you to understand. She taught you to do it in like a sentence form, so you're writing an equation, right? Which is fine. That's great. Setting it up as two proportions where you have four things that go somewhere, and one of them's always 100, no matter what the question is, it's going to fit there. No matter what. So let's look at another one. See if we can set up a second one, okay? So let's see, example number 2. Let's say I have, what is, maybe it froze. All right, try it again. What is, and let's go 25% of 144. Okay? So again, my first ratio is percent over 100. Do we have a percent this time? Yes. So it's 25 over 100 equals is. Now this time it says what is of 144? Yes, x over 144. And now to solve it, we cross multiply. 100 times x is 100x. 144 times 25. And then what do we do? Divide by 100. Guys. All right, here's example number 3. Again, do we have Do we have any questions so far? Makes sense, everything that goes in its spot, right? No matter how I word the question, everything's there. So let's try example number 3. What if I said to you, 70% of what number is 15? Again, our first ratio is percent over 100. Do I have a percent? 70%. So 70 over 100 equals is. Do I have is this time? Which is? All right. Do I have of this time? Of what? So that's where our variable goes, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and cross multiply. 70 times x is 70x. 100 times 15. And then what do? Divide by 70. Grab your calculator. 1,500 divided by 70. Thank you. 21.4. My, it's just a number. All right, let's try one more. No. Okay, so here's my plan. I'm going to do this one. I'm going to do one more with these percent problems. There is one other thing that covers 2 questions in your homework that I got to talk about, and then I'm done. Which, as long as I can keep talking. Yes, sir. Okay. Let's back it up. Hey, guys. Help me out here. Hold on. Okay. Talking about this one? Yeah. That's the whole point. I want things to be easy for you. And I still, my seniors still remember is over of. I mean, that's how we set it up all the time. Anything you come across is over of. Are you good, Matt? Yeah. Okay. Let's try this one. Let's go with what is 150% of 75? So again, we do percent over 100. What is the percent we have in the problem? No, percent. 150 over 100 equals is over of. We have what is, so what does that mean goes on top? X, very good. Of 75, so 75 goes on the bottom. So now we cross multiply. 100 times x is 100x. 75 times 150. Somebody multiply that for me. Thank you. It happened. All right, now to solve for x, I have to do what? Divide by 100. Very good. All right. So any questions setting those up? I'm telling you, every single time, if you think of it as percent over 100 equals is over of, it works. All right? Okay. Here is example number 5. We're going to do 6. We're going to do 5 here. I'm going to talk about one thing. And that's going to be example 6, and then I'm done. Okay? All right, on this one, I have a pair of jeans. Cost $65. It is on sale for 20% off. What is the sale price? Okay, now listen. We're going to start with doing percent over 100. Now, if it's 20% off, the jeans are actually what percent? No. 80, thank you. The jeans are actually 80%. If it's 20% off of them, they're actually 80% of their original cost. Then it says, what is, so what do you think is going to go on top? And what were they originally? Yes. Now we cross multiply. 100 times x is 100x equals 80 times 65. And then to solve for x, we divide by 100. And so those jeans are on sale for $52.
That's still a lot of money for a pair.
Okay. Okay. I appreciate that. Let's keep going. All right, Parker, Remington, let's keep going. Thank you. All right. So again, you'll even notice in a word problem, it said what is. That automatically gives you a clue what should be going on top of your proportions, right? Okay. Last thing I want to talk about is simple interest rate. Simple interest rate follows this equation. I equals PRT. The I is your interest that you are gaining. P. The P is your starting amount or your principal. I'm going to call it starting amount because I think you're going to remember that easier. The R is your rate as a decimal. And T is time. All right, so here's example number 6. This is what you're doing for the last two. Can I go up to what? Go ahead, Parker. What? You're welcome. So let's say you deposit $250 into a savings account with a simple interest rate of 5.5% for 5 years. I want to know how much interest. All right. Let me move this up now. Are you good? I can move it up? Okay. I want to know how much interest. So we're going to plug it into that formula. Since I don't know what the interest is, I have I equals. P is your starting amount. What did we deposit to begin with? All right. So we have $250. R is your rate as a decimal. So technically it's a decimal right now, but it's in a percentage. How do we change a percent to a decimal? Yes, move it over how many? 2. Yep, you move it over 2. So we're going to take this and move it over 2. We got times 0.055. And then, how much time is it? 5 years. Grab your calculators. Multiply 250 times 0.055 times 5. Perfect. So if you can leave that money alone for 5 years, you would get $68.75. Yeah, they're compounded different, and we are going to get to all of that eventually too. But yeah, so we're going to be able to calculate lots of stuff. Later, before spring break, we're going to buy a car. Yeah. And you're going to get your car payments. We're going to have lots of fun. All right, so your assignment today, listen up. It should be pretty easy. It should be pretty easy. Everything from 10 through 28 are all is over of. So you're setting up two proportions and cross multiplying. 29 and 30 are simple interest rates. That's it. There's no surprises. There's no tricks. It should all be super easy. Okay? Simple interest, yes. I know it seems like